Hey guys, today we're going to move on to lesson 7.1 in the GoMath book. We're skipping the rest of the chapter because it's all stuff that we've done before. It's just practicing more of the division facts, so dividing by 6, dividing by 7, dividing by 8, and dividing by 9. But you already know how to do that and you've done it before, and as long as you know your multiplication facts, you can use them to help with the division facts. However, we haven't learned order of operations, so I want to make sure we do that before we move away from the GoMath book and start working on fractions for the rest of the school year. So, this first page is like introducing us to the idea of orders of operations, and then the next page will really go into how to use the order of operations. So first, it gives us this problem on a piece of paper over here. And it's saying that we can use what we know about acting out a two-step problem to write one equation to describe and solve a two-step problem. So instead of doing 4 plus 16 and then equals blank and then blank plus or blank divided by 2 equals and then giving an answer. So instead of writing two different multiplication or two different sentences, we can put them together into one sentence. So they do 4 plus 16 divided by 2 equals, and then we find the answer. If we solved a two-step problem in a different order, what do you think might happen? So what they're saying is there's really two problems in this picture, right? There's 4 plus 16, and then there's also a second problem, 16 divided by 2. So what if we did the pink part first? So we did 16 divided by 2, and then got that answer, and then did that answer plus 4. Do you think that we're going to get the same answer either way? Or do you think we'll get a different answer? So I'm going to say you might get a different answer. Because if we do the addition first, we might get a different answer than if we do the division first. All right. So we're going to make a list of the ways we could order them to find the answer. So the first way was we can add and then divide, right? Because that's what we did with the first problem. Add and divide. Or we can divide, then add. So now for B, we're going to try it both ways and see if we get the same answer. So first we need to do 4 plus 16, which is 20, and then do division. So 20 divided by 2, which is 10. Then for the second way, we're doing the division first. So 16 divided by 2 is 8, and then we're doing 8 plus 4, which is 12. So our answers are 10 and 12. So down at the bottom it asks, did following different orders change the answer? Did we get the same answer? No, we didn't. So yes, it changed the answer. If a problem has more than one type of operation, how does the order in which you perform the operations affect the answer? So if we follow the directions differently, what happens? We get a different answer. Kind of like if you were trying to get somewhere and you asked somebody how to get to the grocery store, and they told you to turn left and walk down the street and then turn right and then turn left again, and then you're at the grocery store. It would take you like 10 minutes to get there. But if somebody told you to go the wrong way and you had to go the wrong way and then turn back around and get to there a different direction or a different way, it's going to take you a different amount of time to get to the grocery store. So, depending on the directions, it changes the answer. If you follow a different order, it changes the answer. Then for number 3, it explains the need for setting an order of operations that everyone follows. So why, on the next page, it's going to tell us the order. But for order of operations, there's a specific way that you have to do the different types of problems in an order of operations. So you have to do the division before the addition or the multiplication before subtraction. So there's an order that you have to do the different steps in a multi-step problem in order to make sure that everybody gets the same answer. So everyone gets the same answer to the problem. To the math problem. Okay, now let's go to next page, if it will turn. All right, when solving problems with more than one type of operation, you need to know which operation to do first. A special set of rules called order of operations gives the order in which, a special set of rules called the order of operations gives the order in which calculations are done in a problem. So the order says, first multiply and divide from left to right. So that's the first thing you do. Then add or subtract from left to right. So you're going to look at it like you're reading a sentence. You start on the left side of your sentence, right? And you read to the end. So you're going to read the sentence and look for any multiplication signs or division signs. So back on this page, if I look through, I have 4 plus 16 divided by 2. So I'm going to start on this side and look until I see a division or a multiplication sign. So I have a division sign there. So I have to do the division first. So the first thing I'm going to do is 16 divided by 2, which gives me 8. So then I'm going to put the 8 where I got that problem. So I'm going to put an 8 here and bring everything else down. So now I have a 4 and an 8. So now I'm going to start on the left side, again, like I'm reading a sentence, and look for the next sign. So I don't have any more multiplication or division signs. So now I'm going to start on the left and look for addition signs. So I have an addition sign or a subtraction sign. So I have an addition sign, which means I need to do 4 plus 8, which gives me 12. So my answer is 12. Okay? So here is the sentence. Megan buys 2 books for $4 each. She pays with a $10 bill. How much money does she have left? You can write $10 minus 2 times $4 equals C to describe and solve the problem. So then we need to use the order of operations to solve $10 minus 2 times 4 and then equals C. Remember, they put C's or like letters in for the missing numbers, so we're trying to find what C equals. So step 1 is we have to look for multiplication and division signs. So start at the 10 and keep looking till you find a multiplication sign. So first we need to do 2 times 4. So 2 times 4 is 8, so they put the 8 underneath and got rid of the 2 numbers. Then using what's left in the sentence, they have a subtraction sign, so they're going to do 10 minus 8 and get $2. So out of her $10, Megan has $2 left that she didn't spend. Does our answer make sense? Yes, because if we subtracted first, we would have ended up with more money than we started with, right? 10 minus 2 is 8. $8 times 4 is $24. How can I have $24 for change if I only started with $10? Right? So that is why we have to do the order of operations, because there's no way we could have started with $10 and then bought stuff with the $10 and ended up with more than double what we started with. Okay? So down here, they're giving us the multiplication sentence, or I keep calling it that, the listed set of facts, and we're deciding if next to it if they're doing it in the right order. So if they're following step 1 and then step 2. So 4 plus 5 times 2. They said they're going to multiply first and then add. Is that right? First multiply or divide and then add and subtract. So this one's correct, because they did the multiplication first. 2. 8 divided by 4 times 2. So step 1 says first multiply and divide from left to right. So they said we multiply and then divide. So look at the order. So if there's both multiplication and division in a sentence, we have to start on the left. So which one comes first? The division sign's first. So they need to do divide, then multiply. And if you were to do this problem in the wrong order, so if you multiplied first, it would actually work for this one, because 4 times 2 is 8. 8 divided by 8 is 1. But some of them, you might multiply first and then you'd get a bigger number, and you can't divide a bigger number from a smaller number. So if I tried to divide 8 by 10, I can't divide 8 by 10 because 10 is bigger than 8. I can't give away 10 pieces if I only have 8 pieces, right? All right, number 3, it says 12 plus 16 divided by 4. What? And they're saying that we're going to add first and then divide. All right, look up here. First, multiply and divide from left to right, then add and subtract from left to right. So they did it incorrect because they needed to divide and then add. Number 4, I'm doing it in the right order. 9 plus 2 times 3. So they said add first, then multiply. But we know up here we have to do multiplication or division first and then add or subtract. So this one should be multiply. I didn't spell that right. Too many bumps. Then divide. Number 5, 4 plus 6 divided by 3. They said divide and then add. So first multiply and divide from left to right, then add and subtract. So this one's correct. They did it in the right order. Then for number 6, it says 36 minus 7 times 3. and they said they're going to multiply first and then subtract. Does that follow our order? It says first multiply and divide from left to right, then subtract, add or subtract from left to right. So this one's also correct. Okay. Now, on this page, it needs you to do the order of operations and come up with the missing letter. So, I'll do the first three with you, so 7, 8, and 9. Then I want you to try 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 by yourself, and then check it with me. And then we'll do the next ones. Okay? So 63 divided by 9 minus 2. So we need to, I'm going to put multiply or divide is 1, and then 2, add or subtract. So look through, multiply or divide. Here's my division problem, 63 divided by 9, which is 7. And then I'm going to bring the rest of it down, minus 2. So 7 minus 2 is 5. Then number 8 says 7 minus 5 plus 8. So let's look for multiplication or division signs. I don't have either. So then we can do addition and subtraction. So we got to start on the left. So we got to start with our subtraction. So 7 minus 5 is 2. And then bring down the 8. So 2 plus 8 equals 10. So y is 10. Number 9 is 3 times 6 minus 2. So first, look for multiplication and division signs. I have 3 times 6 to multiply, so let's multiply those, and that would be 18. Then bring the 2 down. So 18 minus 2 is 16. So H is 16. All right, pause the video, do 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15, and then come back and check your answers with mine. So number 10 is 80 minus 64 divided by 8. So first multiply and divide. So what? There's 64 divided by 8. So what is 64 divided by 8? It is 8. Hopefully you got that. Then 80 minus 8 equals what? Now, if it's a big number like that, you can put it over on the side so that you can borrow and make this a 7 and make this 10 minus 8 is 2, 7 minus 0 is 7. That's totally fine if you need to write the problem over on the side. If you can do it without doing that, that's also fine. But for those big numbers, you might want to write it over on the side so that you can line up your numbers in the correct place values. Number 11 is 3 times 4 plus 6. So multiplication first. 3 times 4 is 12. Plus 6 is 18. Number 12, 2 times 7 divided by 7. So we have to start on the left side. So do the multiplication first. 2 times 7 is 14. Then we take 14 divided by 7, which is 2. Number 13, not 30, 20 divided by 5 plus 5. So first we need to do division, because that's the first step. So 20 divided by 5 is 4. Then 4 plus 5 is 9. Number 14, 42 divided by 6 minus 4. 42 divided by 6 is 7, minus 4 equals 3. And then 20 plus 12 minus 5. So since I only have addition and subtraction, start on the left. And I need to do 20 plus 12. I'm going to remind you over here that you can line them up. So 20 plus 12, 2 plus 0 is 2, 2 plus 1 is 3, so 32. And then I do 32 minus 5. Again, I'm going to put it over here. I'm actually just going to take the 32 from right there and subtract 5 from it. So then make this a 2 and make this a 12. So 12 minus 5 is 7. 2 minus 0 is 2. So t equals 27. All right, then here we have to take the 3 numbers that are here and make the answer 16. So there's only one way that we could do it. So first we need to multiply something together. So if I do 5 here, 6, 2, then I'm going to do 6 times 2 is 12, and 5 plus 12 is 17. So that's not right. So I can't put the 5 there. Let's put the 2 there, and a 6 here, and a 5 here. So then I have 6 times 5, which is 30. 2 plus 30 is 32. So that is way too much. That won't work either. So let's put 6 first, and then 5, and then 2. So 5 times 2 is 10. 6 plus 10 is 16. So that way works. So that's the order that has to be, because we have to do the multiplication first, and 5 times 2 gives us 10, and then we can add 6. Now we could write it one other way. So I'm going to do it over on this side in pink to show you. If I do 6 plus 2 times 5, I'll get the same answer, because we can use the commutative property, the flip-flop rule, when we do multiplication. So 2 times 5 is still going to give us 10, and then we do 6 plus 10 is 16. So we get the same answer because this is a multiplication sentence. If it was a division sentence, that wouldn't work. All right. Number 17, 4, 12, and 18. So there's a division problem and a subtraction problem. I know that I can't put the 4 here, and I'll tell you why. Because can I divide 4 by 12? I cannot, and I can't divide 4 by 18 either, because those numbers are greater than 4. So the 4 isn't going to go there. I can't put a 12 here. Well, actually, I can put a 12 there, but I can't put the 18 here, because I can't divide 12 by 18. I can put the 4 there, though. I could do 12 divided by 4, and then put the 18 here. So let's see if that gives us 15. 12 divided by 4 is 3. 18 minus 3 is 15. So that would work. I could try to flip-flop these two, the first two, and do 12 minus 18 divided by 4. But this isn't a division fact that we can do. 18 divided by 4 doesn't equal anything. So we were lucky and guessed it on the second try. So it should be 18 minus 12 divided by 4, which is 15. All right, then we have 8, 9, and 7 equals 47. So first we have a multiplication sentence, and then we have a subtraction sentence. So let's just put them in order of what they are up here. 8, 9, 7, and see what happens. Because there's not any good tricks for this one, because it's not like the division problem up here where we couldn't put the 4 there because we can't divide a bigger number by a little number because they're all around the same size. So 8 times 9 is 72 minus 7. So 72 minus 7, that's going to be 6. This is going to be 12. 12 minus 7 is 5. 6 minus 0 is 6. So 65. So that is not the right one. And then, remember, since it's multiplication, if I put the 9 and 8 in opposite spots, it's going to give me the same answer because of the commutative property. So I need to put the 7 over here. So I'm going to put the 7 first, and then the 8, and then the 9, and see what happens. So 7 times 8 is 54. No, it's not. It's 56. Then 56 minus 9. That's going to be a 4. This is going to be 16. 16 minus 9 is 7. So 4 minus 0 is 47. So that works. If you want to double check yourself, we can do it the other way. So I'm going to switch the 8 and the 9 and see what happens. So 7 times 9 is 63 minus 8. That's going to be 5. That's going to be 13 minus 8, which is 7. 5 minus 0 is 5, so that's 57. So that's not the right answer either. So we need to put it in 7 times 8 minus 9. And the last one, 2, 4, and 9. So there's a division problem and then an addition problem. So I know I can't put the 2 here because I can't divide 2 by either of those numbers. So since it's division, I'm going to put the biggest number first. 9 divided by 2 plus 4. 9 divided by 2 is not a thing. So that is not right. So let's put the 4 there. 9, 4, not 3, 2. 9 divided by 4 is also not a problem that we have learned or can do. So then we need the 4 here, I suppose, since we can't put the 2 there. So 4 divided by 2 plus 9. So 4 divided by 2 is 2. And then 2 plus 9 is 11. So that works. So do you see how we have to do them in a specific spot and in a specific order in order to get this correct answer? Now for number 20, it wants us to write a word problem that we can use 2 times 5 divided by 5 to get the answer. So our word problem has to do multiplication first and then division, because even when we write it in the word problem, it still needs to be in the order of what we're going to do in our sentence. Let's say my sister, Allie, has 2 plates of cookies with 5 cookies on each. I don't know why I'm writing in print, but I already started, so I'm not going to erase it. Write in cursive, though. You're better than me. On each plate. How many cookies can she give to each person in our family so everyone gets the same amount? So if I'm writing that problem, I'm going to erase over here so I can do the problem. So Allie has 2 plates of cookies with 5 cookies on each. Whoops, 2 times 5. And then I'm taking those, my 2 plates of cookies times 5, and giving each person in my family the same number of cookies. So dividing it by the 5 people in our family. So if I do 2 times 5, that's 10. And then 10 divided by 5 is 2. So that means everybody in my family gets to have 2 cookies. So it tells you to write the problem and then solve it. So hopefully, since your book's bigger than my little page, you can fit that all better on the lines and then have your word or your solution, wow, over on the side. Okay? Then for number 21, it says, is 4 plus 8 times 3 equal to 4 plus 3 times 8? Explain. How you know without finding the answers. So look at what we have. We have multiplication here, addition, and addition. What did we say up here about this problem? That I could do 6 plus 5 times 2, or I could do 6 plus 2 times 5. We could do it either way because of what property? Because of the commutative property. Oh gosh. So I'm going to write they equal the same thing because you can use the commutative property of multiplication. I cannot write today. Okay. Multiplication. That got, oh my goodness. Try that again. Multiplication. All right, now that is all of the problems that we're going to do. The next page is one of those weird connection pages. So it's word problems, but since I'm going to have you do this standards practice page to practice again today by yourself to turn in, we're going to stop there so that you have time to do that page instead. So I will see you on Monday to start fractions. Have a